Hey there, fellow readers. Mrs. Weidman here, and today we're going to be talking about The Flicker by H.E. Edgmon, an incredible dystopian novel, perfect for anybody who likes a book with lots of action and really likes wondering about what the world and what people would do, right, if the end of days, right, or some sort of huge catastrophe actually happened. So this book, unfortunately, takes place in a world that has fallen apart, and it's largely due to this event called the Flicker, which takes place about a year before the book happens, right? And unfortunately, the Flicker was this huge solar flare, right? The sun kind of bloop, released this extra bit of boop energy, and unfortunately, it wiped out almost half of Earth's population. And the people who are left on Earth are facing this really desolate wasteland. Animals die off in mass numbers. It's really hard to find food. It's really hard to find water. It's difficult to find a safe place to live. And unfortunately, to make matters worse, there's actually this group of people called the Hive, and they've actually taken what little is left, right? The resources of humanity, and they've gathered them together. And they've built these huge sort of forts, right? Where they don't let anybody else in, and they kind of just keep everything for themselves. And everybody else is left to survive on what little they can scrounge. So this is the world that Rose and Millie, the two stepsisters, find themselves living in. And to make things even harder, they also have an infant baby brother, and his name is Sammy. And Sammy can't take care of himself, so Rose and Millie have to do it. And while both Rose and Millie love their little brother, they love Sammy so much, they can't say the same for their sister. So there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of rivalry, and Rose and Millie have definitely had their own fights and arguments and stressful situations, right? However, Rose and Millie know that they're going to have to team up if they want to make sure that Sammy lives, and so they commit themselves to finding Millie's grandmother, who's a Seminole elder. And Millie knows deep in her gut that her grandmother is still alive and is going to help them survive this terrible apocalypse. Well, while they're on the road to Grandma's house, they meet another group of kids, a bunch of kids from theater camp, right, named the Lost Boys, who have an adult kind of counselor with them, right? And together they get on this bus and they're just trying to make their way through this desolate wasteland, trying to get to Millie's grandma's house and find a place where they can survive and really thrive once more. So if that sounds interesting, then I highly recommend The Flicker as a great next dystopian read for you. See you all online soon.